The key to Nick Foles on Thursday night versus the Falcons isn't even Nick Foles. It's that offensive line.
Kick the red, double move on the red.
Yo, everybody, do King Ding back here, and we're a few days away. We're a few days away, and I'm pumped. I'm ready to double moonwalk the Atlanta Falcons ass, and it's coming soon. Now, in this video, I'm going to be giving you my Falcons versus Eagles predictions for this game and what I think the score will be. Now, this will be the first prediction video I made of the year for the Eagles. Last year, I only lost one game all season long, including playoffs and Super Bowl. The only game I lost last year was when I had the Eagles beating the Seattle Seahawks. So this is a new year, and we're going to see how it goes. So the second reason why I'm putting this video out today, a day early, is because basically I've been talking openly about this game all year, and if you have watched my videos in the past, you kind of know where I'm going with this game. So with that, I might as well put it out a day early, then I can concentrate on the other videos that I have to do. So with that said, let's talk about Thursday night, Falcons versus Eagles in the NFL kickoff in the banner-raising night for your Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. Boom! I love it. Now, the Eagles, they got a tough challenge ahead of them, no doubt about it. They got a tough team, a team that's bringing back pretty much every starter from last year, another system in their offense, another year in their system, I should say, in that offense. And Atlanta, I expect to be a good team this year. I do. They got a lot of weapons. Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman. They got draft picks like Calvin Ridley. I mean, they're explosive. They even have a tight end named Austin Pooper. He stinks. Anyways, that's enough said with that. The Falcons are a good team. They're good on offense. They're good on defense. And I think this is a tough challenge for the Eagles. I definitely think it is. Now, for the Eagles on offense, to me, the key is one thing. The one big key of this game is going to be that offensive line. That offensive line keeps Nick Foles upright, gives him time to set his feet. Nick Foles and his RPOs will tear the Atlanta Falcons up. It's just the way it is. Foles is a guy who, when he gets time, he can throw, he can make every throw, and he could tear you up. But when Foles gets pressure, you remember, he'll start doing his thing where he starts to fade right. He'll start floating right back into the right. And when he does that, that's not good. That's not good when we get that Nick Foles. We need Nick Foles upright. And in this preseason, the reason why he struggled was that offensive line. That offensive line did not play good, and he took a beating. And when Foles gets hit, Foles isn't good. So that's the key for the Eagles on offense. You got to have protection. You have to keep Nick Foles upright. Carson Wentz is more of a kind of guy who can make something out of nothing. He can move around. He can break free. He's incredible. But Nick Foles, he needs to be standing upright. And if he does, he'll be fine. Now, one of the problems in preseason on the offensive line was Big V on that left tackle. Jason Peters should be in there, and that should really solidify this line, which, in my opinion, is the best offensive line when they're all there on the field at the same time, which is what we're going to get. So I like the Eagles' chances to really keep Nick Foles upright. I think the Eagles will do that. I think they'll scheme it perfect, and I think Nick Foles is going to have a pretty good day. For the defense for the Eagles, they got their hands full. We know the weapons. We know the explosiveness of the Atlanta Falcons. They are explosive. They are fast. They got great weapons like Julio Jones. They got Calvin Ridley, Devontae Freeman, Austin Pooper. They got a lot of them. And you know what? This defense is going to have their hands full just like they did last year. But we know the key to the Eagles' defense is the other side of the line. The defensive line for the Eagles gets pressure on Matt Ryan. They're going to win this game, and they're going to win it easy. That's how you got to slow the Atlanta Falcons down. You got to get pressure on Matt Ryan. You got to stop that run game, which they did last year against Devontae Freeman. And as long as they do that, they're going to be fine. The Atlanta Falcons are going to be looking to pick on probably Hill or Gary, who's ever replacing Nigel Bradham. Nigel Bradham is suspended this game, and that definitely hurts, and that definitely is that's probably my biggest worry on defense, is not having Nigel Bradham week one. So Atlanta, look, they can score points, they can move the ball, and it's the battle in the trenches that wins these games on both sides of the ball, the offensive line and defensive line, and That's how I see it. Because if you get pressure on Matt Ryan, you don't give him time to hit Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Sanu, all their weapons, then you're going to shut them down. And so the Eagles' defensive line and the offensive line are the keys to this game. And I just happen to think that they got some of the best offensive and defensive lines in football. And I think that they're going to take over this game, no doubt about it. That's why, for this game, I'm predicting that the Eagles are going to win 23-17. I think it's going to be like 23-14 in the fourth quarter. They may get a late field goal. They may get a late touchdown. Who knows? But I think the Eagles are going to basically be ahead the whole game. I would not be surprised if you see Darren Sproles make a huge special teams play at some point. I mean, that's a big upgrade for us getting Darren Sproles back in the punt return, kick return duties. It's a huge upgrade. It's something we didn't have last year. So I have the Eagles 23-17 beating the Atlanta Falcons. And hey, let's do this thing. Let's get this thing going. I cannot wait. Also, I want to mention this. Alshon Jeffrey most likely ain't playing. So I do think that that's going to impact the Eagles. I don't see how it couldn't, but I still think they're good enough. I think Doug's good enough to figure ways around that. And the other wide receivers are going to have to step up. I wanted to say that because I can't remember if I talked about him or not. Brandon Graham, he's back at practice, so I expect him to play. And of course, we know we're not going to have Nigel Bradham. He is suspended. So yes, not having these guys definitely makes me worried, but that's why I have it 23-17 and not bigger. Okay, that's why. Now, today it was announced that Malcolm Jenkins restructured his contract to save the Eagles like just over $6 million in cap space. The reason I think they're doing this is because I think that they're trying to extend some guys on this team, and that's what I expect it to be for. So with that said, it is time to get ready for the Atlanta Falcons and Philadelphia Eagles for real. The defense of the Super Bowl champions begins Thursday. I cannot wait. Double moonwalk the ass. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.